Hello, my name is Zane Floyd, and today I will be talking about the Articles of Confederation, America's first government. After winning the Revolutionary War, the newly united colonies became states, each with their own government. Now, our founding fathers thought these newly formed states needed a new government. You may be thinking, the U.S. Constitution, but not yet. They formed the AOC, the Articles of Confederation. 13 countries? Well, not exactly, because each state thought of themselves as their own sovereignty. They acted as an independent. Each colony became a state. Each state acted as an independent country. People were loyal to their state, not one big country. Each state had its own government, which they thought is more important than Congress, and each state made its own money. So Georgia would have its own money, North Carolina, New York, all of it would be different, so it was hard to trade. The Articles of Confederation. The Founding Fathers decided to work together to try to make all the colonies unite. Now, the Articles were written in this mid-1700s and adopted by the Congress on November 15th, 1777. It was an agreement by the states to work together. They formed a very weak and central government. There was no judicial system, no executive branch, and just one legislative with very little power. Now, this is a diagram of each state, and each state got one vote for the legislative branch. Again, there is no executive or judicial. And Georgia, being the least populated, it got the same amount of votes of like Virginia, New York, and Pennsylvania, which were much more populated at the time. You might be wondering, why such a weak government? Well, they just got done with a war with a monarchy, parliament, and the king, and they didn't want nothing to do with that. The colonies got rid of that, such, and the executive reminded them of a king, so they didn't want that. And the Americans wanted a new government to be a republic, not a monarch. Problems with the article, I'll list a couple. Congress could not tax the colonies, so there was not a great way to give the overall government money. Each state had to rely on its own taxes. Congress could not fix trade problems between states with the money being all messed up. There was no common currency. Each state had only one vote. It didn't matter how many big. Georgia, again, was the smallest, then New York and Pennsylvania, which were way bigger. It was hard to make laws. It took 9 out of the 13 colonies, and it was almost impossible to change a law. All 13 states were needed. The states were on the brink of an economic disaster, and the central government had little to no power to settle quarrels between the states. Land issues. So the colonies won lots of new land after the war, and each state claimed some of their own. It kind of just went across the borders, as you can see in this picture right here. This led to the Northwest Ordinance. All the states agreed to give up claims to new land in the West. The system is created to make new states. There was a 3-step process to this statehood. New states would be equal to old states, and it was really the only big success under the Articles of Confederation. Now, you might be wondering why we still don't have the AOC today. It would be because of Shays' Rebellion. Colonists in Massachusetts were angry over high taxes. A farmer named Daniel Shay led an armed rebellion of like all the farmers that had just got done with the war. Congress couldn't raise any funds for an army with all the taxes being just by the states. It was hard to get a federal army. And Massachusetts finally raised an army to defeat Shea, but this made the founding fathers to rethink the Articles of Confederation, and it needed some serious revising. Here are my sources. Thank you.